In this video, I will be showing you ways to break out of that pentatonic box position, some exercises and patterns you can practice, and more importantly, I will show you how to add to this pentatonic box so you can get the most out of it since you probably use it all the time anyway. Every guitarist starts out with that first pentatonic shape, and rightfully so because it's a great scale, it's super versatile, and I think every guitar player uses it. Now, depending on the context of the music you're playing to, you can add notes to it, you can play in different positions, or you could even blend some scales together. I'm going to cover all three of these things, so let's first get into adding notes and some techniques that can help us with these extensions. Now, these extensions I'm going to be showing you all come from another scale or guitar mode. Don't worry too much about the modes as I bring them up, we're just taking the notes from those scales and adding it into that pentatonic box. So for the first one, we have that added flat 5 that comes from the blues scale. Now I'm playing in the A minor pentatonic, so those notes would be here and here. Playing this added note sort of comes naturally now. I mean, I pretty much always use it just to add some flair to my leads, and it's kind of impossible for me just to play that pentatonic shape without using it. This just goes to show that the more you practice and you implement these extra extensions into your leads, eventually they will become second nature. Now, to spice up this added flat 5 even more, we can add that 6th from the Dorian mode. It's important to remember that both the flat 5 and the 6th are in this pentatonic box twice, so you can take advantage of the octaves within the scale as well. Okay, cool. So now we have these two extra notes. How can we go about using them? Whenever I play these, it's always through some sort of technique, and reason being is because I consider these notes better as passing tones compared to target notes. So the techniques I use mainly are quick little slides and hammer-ons, although I do use the bends for that 6th, like this. Now, the next thing I want to go over is playing this scale and its embellishments that we just learned in other positions. The minor pentatonic scale consists of 5 notes: the 1, the flat 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, and the flat 7th. These notes come from the minor scale in whatever key that you choose to play in. So if we were in the key of A, the notes would be A, C, D, E, and G, and then they would repeat. We can play these same 5 notes in a different order all across the fretboard. The reason I say different order is because the other 4 pentatonic scale positions are the same scale, but they start on a different root note. So for an example, I'll play that first position that we all know and love. Now I'll play the second position. Now the second position starts on the flat 3rd. That's C, right? So we're starting on the C, but all the notes are the same. So the pattern will change, but we're still technically playing the same scale. So we have this. Once you practice and memorize these shapes, you can then add those embellishments that we just learned, like the flat 5th and the 6th. The 5 pentatonic scale positions as well as the extra embellishments will be included in a free PDF down in the description so you can learn and practice these scales. Now for the last thing, we're going to cover mixing both the minor and major pentatonic scales together. Now real quick, let's go over one thing that will give you a better understanding of how this works. Every minor scale or minor key has its relative major and vice versa. If I were to play a C major chord, I would solo using the C major pentatonic scale. Now in this case, I would use its relative minor's A minor pentatonic scale shape because they both contain the same notes. It just all depends on the chord that's being played behind those scales that will determine whether it's going to sound more major or minor. Now going back to what I said earlier about mixing the major and minor pentatonic shape, I would go back and forth between that C major pentatonic shape, which I just showed you, as well as the C minor pentatonic shape, which would be the same scale pattern, but we're going to move up to the C note on the 8th fret. So that would be the C minor shape, and that would be the C major shape. So next time you're jamming over a major chord progression, try adding in that minor pentatonic shape over it just to kind of add some spice to it. Now this video was just a brief overview of how you can get out of that box position or at least add to it to make it sound a bit different. Whenever I make these videos, I find that I end up going down a rabbit hole of what I should cover, but this video would be entirely too long and I don't want to jam pack it with all this information. So make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can see when I post the other parts to these style videos and you can continue to learn and progress with the guitar. Also, if you want to take that next step with your soloing and improvising, you can check out my guitar course. I'll link that down in the description below. Thanks for watching. I hope this video was helpful, and just remember to keep on playing.